Rich Herrera on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Yes, my headphones work again. My microphone works. Our camera works. I can see Dragon Ball in all of his glory. Nice haircut, by the way, dude.
Thank you very much.
You look very, very sharp today. Thanks for joining us. This is a reset here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Again, we're working all the gremlins out of our studios, but I'm happy you're here. Thank you so much. Let's be candid. My world is still spinning. There's a couple things that I just count on in life. The love of my friends and family, being an American, the sun rising every morning and setting every night, Dragon Ball driving me crazy, and the University of Arizona being in the same conference as USC, UCLA, and the rest of the Pac-12. It's been that way almost my entire life. It's been that way your entire life. And when word came down last week that USC, UCLA were taking the same tact as those backstabbing double dealers in Texas and Oklahoma, it rocked my world, and I still am reeling through all of this. So I know you are as well. So now that we've gotten through the 4th of July week, let's talk about this, why it matters, how important this is. And I'm going to tell you, I'm just going to tell you right now, the mayor of Tucson and the governor of Arizona, you all better get involved in this, and you all better take this seriously, because I'm going to explain to you why. Why this is bigger than just the UCLA Bruins not coming back to McHale after the year 2024. Why this is bigger than the Arizona Wildcats not being invited to play at the Coliseum in Los Angeles in a couple of years. This actually has huge implications for the state, and in particular, the city of Tucson. So I'll throw open the phone lines for people today on the program, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. So let me just get right to this. I got this stack. I got this big yellow pad that I've been writing on, and I've been texting myself all week, because this is such a complicated story. For me to unpack all of this for you is going to take a Herculean effort this week on my part, because quite honestly, folks, the world has just completely changed, and where everybody is when this stops, I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't know where we're going to be when everything gets going and everything turns, and this is going to be earth-shattering. This is going to be mind-numbing. This really is Armageddon. This really is Armageddon. And for those of you around that are listening to the radio program, I don't think I'm saying too much when I tell you this really is Armageddon.
Armageddon is almost upon us. I got news for you. It's already here.
It's here, and you better take a listen to this radio show today is what I'm going to tell you. Let's just get to what's buzzing around in my big old head right now.
Warning. The following segment might trigger some listeners, and 1290 does not take responsibility for the following content.
What the hell is going on?
It's time for the list as we explore the sick, twisted mind of our host, Rich Herrera.
And that's when things got bad.
And the list of things he is thinking about in that huge size 8 Chrome Magnum head of his.
Look at the size of that boy's head. That's like an orange on a toothpick. You're gonna give the boy a complex. Well, that's a huge noggin. Has its own weather system.
That's my favorite part of the opening of this program when you watch on YouTube, is just you reenacting that Dragon Ball.
I have been on a numerous occasion of a movie requoter, so it's one of my favorite things to do on the show as well.
There you go. All right, folks, I'll begin with this line right here.
Are you ready for a war?
Let's make no mistake. Arizona is at a crossroads right now. Arizona's in trouble. Arizona is on the field of battle, and we're not talking about just the University of Arizona. We're talking about Tucson right now. I can't overstate this for you. I can't overstate this for you at all. The Arizona Wildcats right now are on a war footing. And you go, Rich, what are you talking about? Aren't you making a little too much of this? It's only UCLA, USC leaving the Pac-12. What's the big deal? Dragon Ball, you've taught me this before when we've talked about war. War is made up of three different things. It's the acquisition of territory. There's the economic impact of war. And then there's the war to win the hearts and minds of people. All three of those are at play right now with the University of Arizona, the Pac-12, and what's going on in college athletics. So let me explain this to you. College sports has always been regional. There was the teams down in the South and Southeastern Conference. There was the teams in the Midwest. There was teams kind of in the South and the Texas Panhandle. Then there was the teams out on the West Coast. And, oh, yeah, by the way, there were some teams down in the Atlantic region. And all 5 regions kind of lived harmoniously with each other. But then a couple of years ago, the teams down in the South said, I'm going to go raid Texas. I'm going to go take their resources out of Texas and Oklahoma, and I'm going to have them join my confederation down here in the South. And when that happened a year ago, I told you people on this radio show, it's going to matter to us in Tucson. It's going to matter to us in Tucson because if that happens, the entire world of college athletics has been destabilized. Well, a year later, the University of Southern California Traitors and the UCLA Backstabbers did just that to the rest of their region that we call the Pacific 12. And they turned their back and they joined this huge alliance in the middle part of the country. You know, I've often thought about this. People are tribal by nature, right? And we see this now in America, and it's why we're, in some people's minds, being torn apart at the seams, because we're getting more tribal and less united as a country. That's a natural inclination of the human species of animals to be in a tribe for protection. Well, we had our tribe out here, which was the Pac-12, but then all of a sudden, the entire country is now under attack from the Big Ten and the SEC. That are going, you know what? I know you had your little tribe, but I want to take over the entire world. I'm a big history buff. Alliances are hard to hold on to. They're hard to create. They're even harder to hold on to. I love reading World War II history. But the World War II allies all had different things in mind, and depend on who's writing the history, they all had different agendas. Churchill wanted to keep together the British Empire. Russia wanted a second front while they were fighting the Germans. The United States wanted to end this, and they were fighting in the Pacific. Everybody had their own self-interest. Now, I'm not going to be as crass and as foolhardy to compare World War II to what we're seeing, but it just illustrates, even at the brink of disaster, your own personal agendas will supersede the common good. And that's what we're seeing in college athletics right now. Why did the UCLA Bruins and the UCLA Backstabbers and the USC Trojans bail? Their own personal interests were more important than those of their brethren in the Pac-12. So, as I tell you this, here's what's going on right now. The allocation of resources among city-states in the United States, it was never like San Francisco and Los Angeles were going to fight over things in resources, because they were both united. They both had this common ground. And how do we play out those rivalries between the cities? We played them out in sports. Boston and New York are both major cities in the United States. They're not fighting for resources on the ground. They take their rivalries out between the two cities by sports. That's how we do it in America. That's why we all get along, because we all had sports that we could get along with. Well, now, if you think about this, our natural balance of power, and when it comes to college athletics, is being blown up. And you've got two conferences that decided they want to pretty much take over the entire country, the Southeastern Conference and the Big Ten. So right now, it's a war of territory. Can that tribe down to the Southeastern Conference, who's already claimed Texas and Oklahoma, will they get bigger and want to claim the West Coast? Because the Big Ten, which was primarily in the Midwest, decided they're going to capture New York by taking on Rutgers and D.C. by taking on Maryland. And now they've struck a huge blow to this conference that we live in our tribe by taking USC and UCLA. Are you following me here? Does this make sense, Dragon Ball?
Yes.
When you talk about the territorial acquisitions?
Well, yeah, because let's be honest here. The biggest market in the Pac-12 is Los Angeles.
Is Los Angeles. That's no more. So you've taken away the territory, but you've also taken away the economic power of our confederation out here on the West Coast. The balance of power, because when you take UCLA, USC out of the picture, the Pac-12 is weakened, and you've actually hurt this tribe out here on the West Coast financially, which is what you do when you go to war with somebody.
There's something to be said about the amount of media power the cities of Los Angeles, UCLA, and USC have in regards to getting the Pac-12 on national television.
I don't even know if it's the media power. It comes down to the do-re-mi.
Yeah, exactly.
It comes down to the do-re-mi. How much money?
Show me the money.
No. Show you the money.
How much money is impacted by these schools leaving because of the media rights? You're talking about $1 billion of economic uncertainty, or economic certainty for one, uncertainty for the other. Now, these are real highbrow things that I'm getting into, but I'm going to unpack all of this for you on the program. Because the thing I want to get to today is there's now a battle for the hearts and minds and the morale of two different parts of the country. If you were to listen to everything over the week, the Pac-12's dead. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm rooting for the Pac-12. I'm a Pac-12 guy, been a Pac-12 guy my whole life. I believe in the Pac-12. I think it's a conference of champions. When Bill Walton sings our praises on television, he's not whistling Dixie. It's true. The Pac-12 is a pretty special conference. But right now, you've got folks out in the Midwest, and you've got folks in the Big 12, and they're trying to bury this conference. And I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to pull back the curtain in media, and I'm going to pull back the curtain in sports. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to look you right now. I'm going to tell everybody, all the rumors you hear are rumors that people have thrown out for a reason. Everything that you've heard about the demise of the Pac-12, the power of the Big 12, the power of the Big 10 and the Southeastern Conference, and the fact that nobody's talking about the ACC, it's all spin. It's all people planting rumors. It's all people with an agenda, throwing things out to the media and the media lapdogs, passing those pieces of information along because it fits the narrative and the agenda that they're throwing at everybody. Is the Pac-12 dead? No. Is the Pac-12 on life support? Yes. But right now, in this war between all these conferences, and this is certainly what it is, territorial acquisition, economic impact, and winning the hearts and minds of your constituents, right now, the folks in the Big Ten are trying to crush everybody, thinking that, you know what, I really can't compete with the Big Ten. They're the biggest dogs. That's why they deserve $1 billion in TV revenue money. Folks down in the Southeastern Conference, they've been the big dogs. They've been sitting there going, yeah, we're the best conference in the world. Look at Alabama and all the championships we won. And the folks in the Big 12, who were dead in the water a year ago, are trying to bury the Pacific 12 Conference right now. So all you're going to hear is stories and innuendos and spin trying to win the hearts and minds of the consumer, of football fans, so you can win that big contract and continue to take territorial rights away from one conference to another and cripple them economically. It really is difficult to explain all of this on so many different levels that are just more than sports when it comes to this story. But I'll tell you this. All the talking heads I've seen over the weekend, and by the way, I've got a new rule. If I'm watching you and you put a video up and I see the switch plate for the bedroom at your mom's house behind you, I'm not going to listen to you anymore. I saw so many people spinning so many different stories that had no clue to what was going on. I think all the talking heads are talking about this like it's fun. Well, I will tell you this. It's The Purge. The worst movie ever to come to America was The Purge. Dragon Ball, did you see The Purge?
No, I'm not a big fan of slasher horror.
Okay, I'll tell you this. They're really not. So, again, we're going to get into all of this here on the program. Number for you to join us here on the show, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290, the number for you to join us. You want a break right now? Or can I keep going? Let's keep going. I want to keep going. By the way, welcome to everybody that's watching us on YouTube, who's watching us on Twitch, Facebook Live. We stream the show every day. And by the way, you should go back and watch this because I'm going to unpack everything for you. So I'm going to give you a different take on all of this than anybody else you're ever going to hear today, because I live in 3 different worlds when it comes to covering sports in my background. And this is why, if you're going to listen to somebody, listen to me, because I'm going to talk to you authoritatively living in 3 different worlds. Okay, so I work in college athletics. So I understand college athletics, and I covered a couple different schools. So I understand how things are in the Southeastern Conference and the ACC. I've covered games of the Big Ten and the Big 12, and I'm a Pac-12 guy. So I'm going to give you that perspective. I've also worked in professional sports. So I understand the difference between where college sports is and where some people are trying to drag us into, hey, let's just forget about this being associated with colleges. Let's just make this just like the NFL. Okay? They're not, and there's a big reason why there's not. And then the third part of my life experience that I get to share with you is I've been a broadcast executive. I've been a broadcast director as director of radio operations, working in the broadcasting department in Major League Baseball for a team. So I understand rights. I've helped negotiate rights. I've built networks before. So when it comes to distribution and all the rest of this, I kind of know this because it's part of my professional resume. So when we talk about all of this, there's very few people that have lived in all 3 of these worlds that are going to be able to unpack all this for you and give you a perspective that's not 100% college-oriented, professionally oriented, or broadcast media conglomerates and rights and rights holders and stakeholders. I'm going to be able to bring all 3 of those to the party while we try to unpack all of this, okay? So today on the program, I think we're going to try to talk to Francisco Romero in about 5 minutes. We'll get his take on all of this. But I got a whole bunch of things that we need to get into on the program today. But most importantly, now that you've got a little chance to react, to listen to it, I want to hear from you. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290, the number for you to join us here on the program. Again, 520-848-1290 is the number for you to join us here on the program and get your reaction to what has been a crazy, crazy couple days that are just going to continue to get crazier before we get to Pac-12 Media Day and SEC Media Day and Big Ten Media Day and all the rest of the media days. It'll kind of slow down once we get into football, but it's just going to be percolating right underneath the surface of all of these massive changes that are going to go on around college athletics. And I'm going to explain to you, Tucson, why for our community it's really important that what happens to this conference will have long-lasting effects to the quality of life the folks that live here in Tucson, Arizona. Again, number for you to join us, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290, the number for you to join us. Hey, the program is brought to you by PGA Tour Superstore. Shop with the pros at Tucson's PGA Tour Superstore. If you're looking for the best golf equipment in all of Southern Arizona, there's just one place to go. They have professional club fitters. Heck, they've got PGA instruction. They've got a PGA member that could stand there and teach you right there at the PGA Tour Superstore. It's so hot right now. Do you want to go hit golf balls when it's 105 at lunchtime? No. Well, you can if you go into PGA Tour Superstore. They actually have 2 bays where you can go in there and work on your game. And like I said, it's the biggest selection of golf equipment. They've got everything: putters, drivers, gap wedges, full sets. Here's the cool thing. They also have previously owned clubs. So let's say you're me and I'm like, oh, I got to get this new driver. This is going to change my game, and I get it. I can't hit that thing for anything. So I bring it back in. I get a driver that I can actually hit instead of one that I just thought I wanted to try to hit. Well, it's a brand new technology, and you can go in there and get it. Probably swung 2 or 3 times, knocked a couple balls into the desert, and the guy goes, put it back in my club. Let me get my old driver. They have those as well. There's previously owned clubs. There's brand new. There's everything you could possibly want. If you're a golfer, there's only one place for you to go in Tucson, and that's PGA Tour Superstore. Shop with the pros at Tucson's PGA Tour Superstore, home for golf pros and beginners. Located right here in Tucson near the radio station across from the Tucson Mall, Oracle and Limberlost. There's only one PGA Tour Superstore. And by the way, here's a special hookup. Just for listening to this radio show, you get $20 off a purchase of $100. Just mention the Rich Rare Radio Show, Wildcats Radio 1290, or if You want to go big, $250, they'll knock $50 off of that just by mentioning the radio station. Again, restrictions apply. Ping, Titleist, FootJoy, not involved in this promotion. Everything else, giddy up. It's PGA Tour Superstore located in Oracle and Limberlost. Coming up next, we'll talk with Francisco Romero, and then I'm going to break down everything. All these stories that you've been hearing, they're all coming up here on 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, hand it to Mathurin between the rings. Over for Krisa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Krisa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff. Into the backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments for the University of Arizona Wildcats?
Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's caught! Touchdown, Arizona! Oh, did they need that? My goodness, Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the board. ASU with the ball, down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like what, driving down that was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Mathurin with the ball for the Wildcats. Mathurin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko, feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline, circles back out top to Mathurin. 10 to shoot, 16 left in the ballgame. Mathurin, 3 balls straight away, good!
That's a huge shot for Ben Mathurin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Mathurin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berryhill. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Brown will take the snap a yard deep in the end zone. Straight back to throw. Has some time. Steps up in the pocket. The Wildcats have got him for a safety. Second safety Arizona has recorded this season. It's a 24-12 ball game, and the Cats will get the ball.
That's big.
Pulling on the field is a safety.
Yes. That's big time by Arizona. That time defense did a great job of just closing the pocket from the inside, and then the pressure on the outside by Hebert. They just got him. They just got there. They won their blocks that time. Excellent job by Arizona defense and really changing the momentum of this game.
All right, thanks for joining us, everybody. It's the Rich Herrera Radio Show. I'm Rich Herrera. Appreciate you spending time with us. Let us go out to our guest hotline. Joining us right now, a radio voice in Española of the Arizona Wildcats, also of the Houston Astros. We haven't got his reaction since the announcement that USC, UCLA have left the Pacific 12 Conference starting in 2024. Let's bring in Francisco Romero to discuss all of this here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Francisco, ¿cómo está? Bienvenidos, mi amigo.
Muy bien, Rich, ¿cómo estás tú? Aquí a punto de trabajar. Astros de Houston contra los Reyes de Kansas City. Más tarde, Astros jugando muy bien.
See, just got to show off. Just got to show off. I just tried to throw out my Spanglish. What did you say?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Especially because the Astros have been playing so well as of late.
They have. They really, really have. I haven't paid any attention, though. Quite candidly, I've got probably 50 pages of notes of things that I've just been thinking about over the last weekend with the announcement that the Pac-12 is on life support in some people's eyes, dead in others. I wanted to get your reaction to the Bruins and the Trojans leaving the Conference of Champions.
Well, that was a big surprise for me. I never thought that they would leave, especially because of the Pac-12 network, the Pac-12 bringing in a couple extra teams when they were the Pac-10 a few years ago. So everything seems to be very, very strong. And all of a sudden, I see these two teams that are leaving in 2024 will be when they officially are gone for the Pac-12. And so it is very surprising. I did not expect it. I didn't see it coming. Even though we have heard rumors of super conference a few years ago, but I did not see it coming.
How bad do you think, on a scale of 1 to 10, does this harm the Pac-12 conference losing two of its flagship schools?
Well, you know what? Times change, things change. Those are two very powerful schools. We know that UCLA has over 100 championships over the years. And they showed it off a few years ago. Very strong. USC, the same way they produce professional athletes and professionals from all over the country, great schools. So I think it'll hurt it. But now we have to see which way the Pac-12 goes. And will the Pac-12 be disbanded? Will the Pac-12 get stronger? What teams are there that could join the Pac-12? We've heard a lot of rumors, nothing in concrete, of teams applying or trying or looking into applying to get into the Pac-12. And so there's a lot of things going on. I think we have to let the dust settle, and then, here maybe in a couple months, if there is a plan, what plan is it, and how will it benefit student athletes, first of all, in the conference and its fans.
You and I have been when you and I were little kids when this conference expanded from Pac-8 to Pac-10, and now it's Pac-12. I honestly don't remember the Pac-8. I don't think I was old enough to really pay attention to the conferences. Could you, when you woke up and you're like, wait a minute, the conference that I grew up with that expanded out to 12, and every once in a while I still have a hard time and I'll slip and say Pac-10, but the fact that you lost the two biggest members of this conference, it just made the world seem like it didn't make any sense.
You know what? I'll tell you what. Sometimes we try to, how can I say it? Sometimes we try to, I don't know if this is the right word, alleviate what's going on, or say, okay, well, they're gone, but we'll survive. But sometimes reality is reality. You just mentioned it. Two of the great institutions, academically and especially in sports. And, you could say they're the biggest. They're part of the insignia of what the Pac-12 has been. A lot of history there and a lot of pride. And not only pride for UCLA or USC, but pride within the Pac-12 that you have these two great schools that you play. And I remember when, U of A beat USC when they were number one, I think. And I was very young. But those things last forever. And those things make the conference stronger. Its history and, its passion. So I think at this point it hurts, but hopefully somewhere along the lines everything will fall into place, and for Arizona, it will be in the right place. But right now, I think we have to wait. But it truly hurts going back to reality. Two great schools, two great, historically speaking, sports, and again, academic also.
I want to go back though to the rivalry between the Pac-12 schools and the tradition, because you can't write the tradition of the Pac-12 without all 8, 10, 12 members of the conference. And it's almost like you have you're gonna rip out part of the history book and let it go by the wayside. Tell me what's so great about UCLA and Arizona when they lock horns.
The students that come from California, and some of them have stay with a chip in their shoulder, and they say UCLA didn't recruit me, and here we go and we beat them, and so those are that's what makes it great. And then some Arizona kids that go to California, but that's a rivalry in itself. You're talking about football. Remember when Arizona and UCLA developed that rivalry in basketball, in baseball, come on, in track and field. So there's a lot of history, not only in football, but in a lot of other sports. But again, when we talk about UCLA and USC, you want to beat them. I mean, you want to be in the Rose Bowl, and so when a Pac-10 or Pac-12 team in the Rose Bowl is like, yeah, we're here and you're not, and so I'm talking about part of the rivalry, and so that's we're going to miss that. And nowadays, the bowls, not that they don't have any meaning, but the bowls are driven differently than it was 20 years ago. And so, that part of having those two teams there and trying to beat them year in and year out is going to be missing, because, again, going back to being two great universities.
Francisco Romero joining us here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Again, you know what? You brought something up, and I've thought about this, and I hadn't done a show about this, so shame on me for not having this warning for everybody. I'm thinking about, as this conference is now teetering, and a lot of the tradition of this conference is now gone. When we wake up rivalry weekend, we'll have, as it sits today, the Civil War, Oregon State. You'll have the Apple Cup, Washington State. You'll have the big game, Cal and Stanford. Then you're going to have the Territorial Cup, Arizona, Arizona State. And then when you have the City of Los Angeles Championship, it'll be the University of Southern California taking on the UCLA Bruins. But instead of being that traditional USC-UCLA lineup, it's going to sound something like this.
Like what?
Because it's not going to be that traditional rivalry, because it's going to be stamped with the Big Ten. Big Ten football on Fox brings you UCLA, USC. It just doesn't sound right. And now that you mentioned the Rose Bowl, Francisco, think about this. What happens to the Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all? It is the most prestigious college football bowl game. And right now, I don't even know if the Rose Bowl will exist.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about, tradition. That's what I love about college sports, about college football, especially college football. And you know what? Yeah, I went to Arizona. We're with the University of Arizona. But when bowl time comes, you're rooting for your conference. You're rooting so much for your conference. It doesn't matter who it is, especially for some guys up north. But still, you're rooting for the rest of the Pac, the Pac-12 team. But yeah, that's a good question. What's going to happen to the bowl? What's going to happen to the Rose Bowl? What's going to happen to all that tradition?
Well, here's the other part. You just mentioned, I want to go here next with you. We all need to become Los Hermanos Zendejas. we need to become the Zendejas family, because we're going to be tied to Arizona State. And for the University of Arizona, I think a lot of our future is going to be dependent on what happens to Arizona State. Arizona and Arizona State need each other. They need to be tied together in the hip in order for each of these schools to survive athletically, because Arizona State doesn't have the blue blood that Arizona has. Arizona doesn't have the media market that Arizona State has. And if you separate the two, they're not as valuable as having both of them tied together.
Yeah, you make a great point. Arizona and Arizona State have to be together. It'll just it makes both schools stronger in every which way you look at it. And even in recruiting, in marketing, in tradition. So I think both schools are going to find a way to stay together, whatever happens, but stay together, and whether they stay in the Pac-12, Pac-10, or whatever it becomes, and they need to stay together. It'll make it greater. It'll make it better for everybody.
What else am I missing? What have I not brought up that you've been thinking about since the news broke?
I've been thinking about the super conference. Could that be a reality? Could this be like the first move to make up a super conference? I mean, is that doable? Would that be beneficial? I mean, that's one of the things I've been thinking about. What if the next step is that?
What would you consider a super conference? How many teams in a super conference?
I would consider about 25 teams. But, I mean, is that doable? I mean, looking at Major League Baseball with 30 teams and, with revenue sharing and MLB TV and Apple TV coming in and now Amazon wants to get in there too. And so something similar to that with the revenue share for everybody at larger levels. That's the model I'm looking at. That's the model I've been thinking of. 25 teams or more in the super conference.
So if that was the case, would we survive in the state of Arizona? Would Arizona State or Arizona be in that super conference? And if that doesn't happen, what happens to the rest of these schools?
Exactly. That's a great point, because, whoever gets in there may survive because of all the elements that I have mentioned and more. I mean, we're not talking about it in detail. It's just a broad spectrum. But, yeah, what happens to the smaller conference? What happens to Colorado? What happens to Utah? What happens to, I heard what Fresno State wants to get in somewhere. Other schools, San Diego State, I don't know. But that's the model I've been looking at or thinking about. comparing it to what Major League Baseball has done and has worked for them.
And I'm going to throw that out later. I'm going to throw that out later this week. If there was a super conference and you had 50, if you had the 50 top schools, would Arizona make it?
See, I really liked when it was like the Power 5 conferences. That really just made a lot of sense. But maybe it only made a lot of sense to me.
Well, you know why it made a lot of sense to us? Because we were a part of it.
Exactly.
If you're in the group of 5 or group of 6, whatever they call it, it didn't feel very good. As long as you're a member of the club, that's why I started the program saying, this is kind of like The Purge. Everybody watches that movie. Oh, wouldn't it be cool if we just go out and maim and do all this and commit crimes and everything? It'd be great if there were no rules for a day and I can go wild. Well, that's great as long as you're the one going wild. But in reality, when they come to your house, that purge ain't that good.
And you know what? The other thing that the Power 5 had was the smaller schools that didn't belong to it. They took a lot of pride in playing a Power 5 school and beating them. Not that it happened all the time, but when it did happen, it served the purpose of getting better recruits and better marketing. So, and that having a Power 5 conference, I think helped everybody.
How much did the folks up in Flagstaff? How much have they used it, beating Arizona to help build their football program and give them something to hang their hat on?
Exactly. Yes, and they take pride in that.
100%. All right. Well, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when USC or these guys come into town. And all of a sudden, they got to come into Tucson for 2 years and play down here, knowing that everybody in this conference is mad at them for bailing.
Exactly. It's going to be wild. So let's use that to our advantage, I think.
Yeah, there you go.
Make it wilder.
All right, Francisco, thanks, my friend. I appreciate it. We'll catch up with you next week.
All righty. Thank you, Rich. We'll see you.
All right, take care. Francisco Romero joining us, the radio voice in Espanol of the Arizona Wildcats and the Houston Astros. I didn't even talk about baseball. We'll do that next week. I went to the Diamondback game yesterday, and in the entire time of the Diamondback game, you know what I kept thinking of?
Kept thinking about the conference.
I kept thinking about USC and UCLA. I kept thinking about USC, UCLA. Every time I saw somebody wearing an Arizona State shirt, I looked at them like, is that Arizona State or is that the Trojans? Is that Arizona State? Or is that are those the Traders?
It's
the new fight song for the USC Trojans, because that's what it's all about, right?
It's not too far off, I'll tell you what.
All right. I got a lot to get to again. I'm going to tell you, here's a little tease. Top of the hour, we're going to get into this. Does this really matter? Like, I am so worked up, Dragon Ball. Like, I can't sleep at night. I'm so worked up over this. I'm offended. I'm mad. I'm insulted. And then when I talk to the people, like, big deal. We'll go play in the Big 12. I don't think it's that simple. I don't think it's that simple. Let me ask you this question. This is going to make some people mad, but I think we've learned on this show, unless you ask the really tough questions, unless you say there are no sacred cows, and you're willing to ask even the most uncomfortable questions, if you don't ask those questions, you never get to really the nitty-gritty. You never really get to the truth unless you're willing to ask those really tough questions. So let me ask you this. You grew up here in Tucson, right?
Yes, I did.
I'm a carpetbagger.
Right.
I'm a carpetbagger that moved here from California, then moved down south, and then I moved back again. Okay? So two different perspectives. What's the difference between El Paso, Albuquerque, and Tucson? We're a border town, ostensibly.
Yep.
Same as El Paso. El Paso's right on the border, but we're pretty close.
Yeah.
Albuquerque's out in the middle of the desert, right?
Right.
We're in the middle of the desert. All three towns kind of about the same. Are they about the same size? They have the same makeup? Do they have the same? Is there much difference between the three towns?
Demographically, no.
Economically,
not so much, I would say. But, I mean, there's probably at least one major difference.
What's that?
University of Arizona is a Power 5 school.
University of Arizona is a Pac-12 school.
Yep.
So, at one time, when Arizona played in the Border Conference, your comp set was New Mexico, New Mexico State, UTEP. Those are the schools that you played against. Those are your competitive set. I'll tell you this. Part of the prestige and the allure of Tucson is the University of Arizona. And a lot of the University of Arizona's mystique is predicated upon being a member of the Pac-12 conference. Look at the comp set. Why is it so important to be a member of this conference? And it has nothing to do with athletics, folks. Has nothing to do with athletics. It has to do with who are your member institutions that you're equal to. Stanford, UCLA, Cal, Washington, Oregon. Would you rather be associated with those towns and those communities and those universities, or would you rather be associated with New Mexico, UTEP, Texas Tech, and schools like that?
UNLV and things like that.
UNLV is a perfect one.
Mm-hmm.
Why is Arizona such a respected, pedigreed place compared to UNLV? Because of the Pac-12. Why is Arizona considered such a finer institution than San Diego State? Because San Diego State's comp set is University of Nevada, Reno, San Jose State, and Boise State. Who would you rather be associated with? And it extends out to your brand, which means this town is a peer of Palo Alto, Berkeley, Seattle, Westwood, as opposed to Albuquerque, Las Cruces, and El Paso, Texas. Which would you rather be associated with? It's a pretty big deal. I'm going to explain why, if you're Regina Romero and you're Doug Ducey, you better get involved in this, because it's a big, big, big impact on the state and our economic future that you get this right. That's how big the stakes are that we're talking about. It's much bigger than just sports. I'll tell you why coming up next here at 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, handed to Matherin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
4th down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff. It is good. Backfield and drop. No gain. Loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry. Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins. Throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three. Blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it. It's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way. Out to Tabellas. Down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Rare. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments from the University of Arizona Wildcats?
4th down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on 4th down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's hot! Touchdown, Arizona! Oh, did they need that? My goodness, Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the board. ASU with the ball, down by 11, 3 have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his 3rd foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like one driving down. That was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Matherin with the ball for the Wildcats. Matherin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko. Feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline. Circles back out top to Matherin. 10 to shoot. 16 left in the ballgame. Matherin, 3 balls straight away. Good!
That's
We're tied.
A huge shot for Ben Matherin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Matherin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back.
Rich Rare Radio Show rolls on. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Dragon Ball, my sidekick, my producer, thank you very much for being here today. We have a sweet deal we got to give away as well, right? Or got to tell everybody about, right?
Yes, we do.
What's the sweet deal?
So our sweet deal is for none other than Barrio Brewing Company.
I don't have it. You got.
Okay.
I lost my paper. That's what I'm telling you.
I got you. So
I got a $50 gift card for $25. Barrio Brewing.
Yeah, you can go ahead and spend $25 to get a $50 gift card to Barrio Brewing Company. Now,
by the way, where's my gift card that you owe me?
Oh, did you not get that yet?
I'm standing next to the mailbox waiting.
Oh man. Okay, you know what?
I'll take a $50 gift card from you for Barrio Brewing. It'll just cost you $25.
Mm-hmm. And it's going to be, you get all your locally brewed beers like Barrio Blonde, Hipsterville Lazy, a Hazy IPA, Citrazona, and other seasonal beers. So, you could go ahead and you can go to town on that.
Okay, so that's available Friday morning, 8:30 a.m., WildcatsRadio1290.com.
Yes.
There you go. You know what? I told you in the beginning of the program, for those of you that didn't tune in to the beginning of the program, shame on you. What are you shaking your head at me for?
Oh, just wish I had done a little bit better job reading that out.
Well, you didn't know I was going to throw you under the bus and just say, hey.
Well, to be fair, I should have, because I should have expected it, because there was also some other business that I needed to make sure to take care of, and I kind of spaced on getting you the information. So that's on me. Yeah, no, I deserve the booze. I deserve the booze.
I'm just saying, I thought you did okay.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I wasn't that worried about you.
Thank you. There are other things you're worried about me, though.
No.
Are you trying to make me look stupid in front of the other guests?
No, you're fine. You're fine. I think you're okay. What did I tell you? I said beware of the spin that's coming out of all of these. So here's a story. I just saw this one pop up on Facebook. This is a story that just started to pop up. Arizona State in discussions with Big 12. The Big 12 is considering adding up to 6 teams to its league. This is from Dennis Dodd of CBSSports.com. Here's what I got to tell you. You're going to get spin on both sides. So right now, the Big 12 is trying to crush the Pac-12. The Big 12 has a reason why they want to crush the Pac-12, because we were arrogant to them a year ago. When they were looking for a lifeline, Dragon Ball, they said, hey, we just lost Texas to Oklahoma. We're about to go under, right? A year ago, they were about to go under. They were where the Pac-12 was today. And they said, I'm drowning here. Help me, help me, help me. Pac-12, throw me a lifeline. How about we get together and we have this, we looked at them and said, no.
As they are sinking
As
below
they're
the
sinking,
waves,
we're like, bye, Felicia.
They've got the one hand up asking for someone to pull them out of the water, and we just gave them a quick little high five.
Yeah, exactly. So we did nothing. We did nothing to help them. So there's probably a little bit of ill will their way towards the Pac-12. And now that the Pac-12 is struggling mightily under the weight of losing your 2 big dogs, the Big 12 sees blood in the water. So I want you to be aware of all the stories that you're getting. Arizona State ready to join the Big 12. And then the story is the Big 12 are targeting Arizona State, and 4 other schools to join their conference. You bet they are. But the reason why you're seeing that story out there is because somebody at the Big 12 is trying to win the hearts and minds of people here in Arizona and Colorado and Utah to say, hey, listen, let's go run and jump into the Big 12. Meanwhile, the Pac-12 better do a better job of spinning this on their side, saying the conference is strong, we're going to stick with it. So be prepared for the next 2 weeks until we get to Pac-12 Media Day. Oh, good golly, Miss Molly, you're going to get spin coming both sides. The Pac-12 trying to defend itself, showing everybody they're not on the ropes, they're not dead in the water. And the Big 12 trying to throw dirt on top of the grave of this conference. A perfect example just popped up on my phone during our commercial break. Number for you to join us, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. But, Dragon Ball, why is this important? Why is this important? Other than Wildcat fans, why is this important to the city of Tucson?
Well, I think that the University of Arizona is the biggest economic growth market for the city of Tucson.
It's the economic engine that drives this city.
Yeah, exactly.
You realize the impact of the University of Arizona on our community?
I looked
it up.
I know it's vast, but I don't know the exact details.
$4 billion.
Oh.
Is the economic engine of this economy. Is the economic engine of our community.
That's billion with a B.
Billion with the B.
Oof.
The entire Arizona university system has an impact of $11 billion on the state of Arizona. $11 billion is the economic impact of Arizona State, and I believe NAU. Are those the 3 members of the
Those are the 3 major universities. I'm not sure if the numbers that you were looking up also include GCU potentially, but
no, because they're not part of the state system. That's a private university.
Okay, gotcha. So it would be if it's just the state system, then yeah,
the
those
state
would be
system.
The 3.
Those are the 3. $11 billion. Arizona's worth $4 billion of that. That's why I'm saying right now, the mayor and the governor better make this a priority. That you make sure that Arizona and Arizona State have a spot and a chair when the music stops. Think of this, okay? And again, there cannot be any sacred cows in this discussion. There can't be. Otherwise, you're never going to get to the bottom of this. Because so many times they'll say something, and I've told this story on the air before, that I learned this from Booger McFarland. Booger and I were doing a show, and he brought up he was talking about the Tampa Bay Rays, the organization I had just left, and he asked, is Joe Madden the right guy to manage this ball club? And I got mad at him. Like, how dare you? The guy took him to the World Series. He's built this into one of the best teams in the American League. How dare you ask that question? And I was offended and I was incensed. And then he explained to me as the show went on, big fella, if you don't ask the right questions and you're not willing to ask the tough questions, then you really don't have all the information, do you? That's why there's certain organizations that always suck. It's odd. It's why? Give me an organization that sucks.
Let's go with
the Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland Browns. You got the Detroit Lions.
No, okay. Detroit Lions, great. Why do the Detroit Lions suck? What's the one constant there?
Management.
So you didn't go for the jugular. You didn't ask the tough question.
Oh, just with the management or ownership?
Bingo. Nobody's going to touch ownership. You can't. I can't say anything about ownership because that's the sacred cow that's untouchable, right?
The Fords are untouchable. You can't go against the Fords.
But guess what's the one constant? They haven't had the same general manager their entire lifespan. They haven't had the same head coach. They've changed GMs. They've changed head coaches. They've changed so many different things. The only thing they haven't changed are the two things that are 100% the same and have never changed. The two constants when it comes to the Detroit Lions is losing and ownership. And if those are the two constants, don't you think the two have something to do with each other? Jerry Jones, general manager of the Dallas Cowboys. Vicky, I know you're listening. She's a loyal listener. I love you, and I'm not picking on your Cowboys the way I do on the network. But what's the one constant for the Cowboys since Jimmy Johnson left and Barry Switzer left?
The Jones family, particularly.
What's the other constant? Not winning the Super Bowl.
Habitual underachieving.
Do you think the two have anything to do with each other?
There's some evidence to suggest.
Okay. And if that's the case, do you really think anybody's got the intestinal fortitude to tell Jerry, there's two constants that are going on. We constantly underachieve, and you run the ball club. Of course nobody's going to have the wherewithal to say that to Jerry Jones because he's going to fire them. Do you think anybody has a wherewithal to tell the Fords the reason why this franchise sucks is you're horrible owners? No. So why do they perpetually lose? Because nobody's willing to ask that tough question. Nobody's willing to ask that tough question. Let's ask the tough question right here. And it's not disrespectful, but if you're not willing to ask that question, then you're never going to get to the bottom of everything. You're not going to have all the real answers. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number for you to join us. What's the difference between El Paso, Albuquerque, and Tucson? It's being in the Pac-12. If the Pac-12 blows up and we lose that association with those member schools and those prestigious universities, what kind of impact is that going to have on our community? Now, if you're just someone in town and you're not a huge sports fan, you're going to go, come on, Herrera. Does it matter? Well, yeah, it does. It matters who you hang out with. It matters who you're associated with. It matters who you're partners with. It matters when you look at your competitive set. Dragon Ball?
If there's a single person out there that doesn't believe that who you hang out with matters, clearly hung out with the cool people in high school, and they didn't need to worry about that question.
Wait a minute, explain.
So you're saying
this might be the best contribution you've ever had to this radio show.
So you were saying that it matters who you hang out with, right? It matters what your company that you keep is.
I use CompSet, but yeah, the company you keep.
Yeah. So If you hung out with all the cool people in high school, then you were de facto a cool person yourself by retrospect. Now, if you were hanging out with people that other people would describe as weirdos or freaks or very, very bizarre, you de facto were connected to that stigma, and people would kind of stay away from you. There's
that stench.
There's a stench to you. Exactly. There's a stench or a stigma that connects you based on who you hang out with.
I
was a huge, like, nerd.
Drama nerd.
Oh, drama nerd. I watched Saturday morning cartoons, and I came over to go ahead and break down like how you break down Star Wars show. I broke down Pokemon and Digimon episodes. Like, that's what I did in high school. And absolutely, that stigma stuck with me. And for some, you can own it. In some categories, you can own that.
Not that stench.
Well, I can because I enjoy it, but there's a lot of people that can't do that. San Diego State, for as successful as they are, they hang out with the Boise States and, all these other schools. They don't like that stench and stigma of being connected to them because they've wanted to be a Pac-12 school for years. And now there's a chance potentially that they could join and become a quote-unquote new kid on the block, a cool kid on the block. But if the conference dies, then that opportunity for them disappears.
I played football and I wrestled, but I was a nerd. You hear me when I talk about MCU and Star Wars. I nerd out all the time on that stuff. I love Star Trek.
Absolutely.
But I hung out with the cool kids, so I didn't get lumped in with you. I went to Comic-Con once with my son, and we were standing there, and there were some nerds behind us. I mean, they were your people, Dragon Ball.
Oh, absolutely. Those are my people. Absolutely.
And they're talking about something. They're talking about Star Wars. And their theories weren't very good. So Riggs and I picked up the conversation. We're talking about it. And I looked over at him, and he looked over at me, and he goes, "Oh, my God, Dad, we're nerds."
It happens.
It's the company that you keep.
It's the company you keep.
So if you're the University of Arizona, what company do we want to keep? Because it matters to this community. It matters to the prestige of this community. So what's the difference between El Paso, Albuquerque, and Tucson? It's that we're a Pac-12 school. Could you imagine if instead of tapping the University of Arizona and Arizona State 50 some odd years ago, the Pac-12 had taken New Mexico and New Mexico State? What would Tucson be today? What was that Disney Plus What If?
Yeah, the What If series with all the Marvel universes.
What if San Diego State and Boise State got picked to join the Pac-12 instead of Arizona State? What would Tucson be? We'd have a nice university, but would it be as prestigious and well-known? Would it be a nationally recognized university? If it wasn't for membership in the Pac-12?
Would we have alumni that we have such pride in to the level
would they
that we
have come
do?
here?
Would they have come to the University of Arizona without that national recognition of being a Pac-12 school?
I spent some time in Albuquerque. Albuquerque's dirty, it's poor, and it's dangerous. And the prestige of the University of New Mexico is nothing compared to the prestige of the University of Arizona. And you know the big reason why? Because the majority of the kids that go to the University of New Mexico are from Albuquerque, or from New Mexico. You go on campus here at the University of Arizona, most of the kids are from out of state because they want to come here because it's a prestigious university, and a lot of that has to do with what?
It's a Pac-12 school.
Why are so many Californians coming here?
Because there's a pipeline.
There's a pipeline. It's kids from San Diego, Los Angeles, and Northern California that want to come to a Pac-12 school because it's in the same competitive set as UCLA and Stanford. Disagree with me. I dare somebody to disagree with me. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. And that's right now why I'm telling you, Regina Romero, I've got a message for you. Governor Ducey, I got a message for you. I'll tell you what that message is coming up next I'm Rich Herrera. That's my amigo, my compadre, who, by the way, great haircut, dude.
Thank you.
This is the best I've ever seen you look as we've done this show.
Since we've been the live stream, I would say, yeah, this is probably...
You're like you know what? You could be a TV news anchor with that look.
Really?
Not really. We'll continue with you. It's 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, hand it to Mathurin between the rings. Over for Krisa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Krisa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff into the backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments from the University of Arizona Wildcats?
Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Arizona. Oh, did they need that? My goodness. Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the field. ASU with the ball. Down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like what, driving down that was from mid-court. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Mathurin with the ball for the Wildcats. Mathurin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko, feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline, circles back out top to Mathurin. 10 to shoot, 16 left in the ballgame. Mathurin, 3 balls straight away, good!
That's
We're tied.
Huge shot for Ben Mathurin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Mathurin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back, receiver either side, 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front, they shift, play fake, rolling right, McLeod looking to throw, going deep, down, trying to find Berryhill, makes the catch inside the 25-yard line, still loose inside the 15, first down Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball, he underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a
1290.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm Rich Ferrer. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. Along with Dragon Ball. Thanks for hanging out with us. So I threw this out. Why the mayor of Tucson needs to get involved in this and push and do everything she possibly can, as well as the governor of the state of Arizona. This is not partisan. This is bigger than that. Hear me out. Because I know there's a lot of people that are sitting and listening and going, okay, Herrera, you've gone off the deep end. Stop making this bigger than it really is. Let me ask you, I'm going to throw out a couple names of some cities, Dragon Ball, and you tell me what they're known for and why they have the mystique, the prestige, the pedigree that they do. Okay? These are know-nothing towns that would be nothing without whatever their calling card is.
All right.
Okay? Ready? Anaheim.
The Angels.
I gotta find somebody better to play this game with me. Oh, I feel like a drink.
No, I'm not drunk, madam, but you're giving me an idea.
Can we try again?
We'll go for it.
Okay. Anaheim.
The Mighty Ducks?
Could we try one more time?
I'm probably gonna
big picture.
I'm gonna
big picture.
Okay. I would just think that they're a major sports.
No, think big picture, not just sports. Big picture. That's why you see this is why this jumps the platform of sports and why it's important to Arizona. That's why I'm saying the mayor and the governor need to make sure they do everything that they can to support Dr. Robbins, Dave Hickey, and the folks up north. So can I try one more time? Okay, let me throw a different one at you since you couldn't get this one. You ready?
Okay.
Orlando.
Oh, Disneyland.
Yes, you got it right.
Disney World's on the other side.
You know what? I'm not gonna press you that far.
Okay.
Okay. So we try this again. Anaheim.
Disney World. California Adventure? Or Universal Studio?
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Anaheim equals Disneyland.
Okay, so all right.
Okay. They're kind of synonymous with each other. Right?
Right. I don't go to many amusement parks, man. It's been a long time.
There's a reason why we know these towns. It's because it's something that is part of its DNA. Okay? So Disneyland is synonymous with
Anaheim.
Disney World is synonymous with
Orlando.
Okay. Can we keep going?
Okay.
Vegas is synonymous with
the Strip.
Very good. You're doing okay. Cooperstown is synonymous with
the Baseball Hall of Fame.
There you go. Canton, Ohio is synonymous with
the National Football League Hall of Fame.
Do you see where I'm going with this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And Minnesota is known for the Mall of America.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Do you think the mayor of Minnesota? I know it's a state. I'm just going along. I don't want to confuse Dragon Ball. But do you think the mayor of Minnesota would want to see anything happen to take down the mystique of the Mall of America? No.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Let's keep going. Let's keep playing this game a little bit longer. Give me another town. San Antonio.
The Riverwalk, the Alamo.
Okay, those are big parts of the community.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if the Prestige or the Shine comes off of those?
What if it ends up becoming the Creek Walk rather than the Riverwalk?
Bingo. Okay, what's Tucson synonymous with?
Old Tucson? The Western? Well, obviously the real answer would be the University of Arizona.
There you go.
Right, but you were asking for outside sports. You were asking for outside of sports reasonings. And to be fair, Old Tucson is something that's synonymous with the town of Tucson, but not as much as the University of Arizona.
Okay, so let's try this again. And I'm failing completely at this. I'm failing completely at this analogy. But if you think about it, when so you're from Tucson.
Yes.
What do people ask you about? What do people equate? What do people think about when they think of Tucson? Tell me about Tucson. Oh yeah, it's where the University of Arizona is. It's what we're known for. Anything that dampens or dims that star hurts this community. So for the mayor, you got to do everything you can to help out Dave Hickey and Dr. Robbins, making sure when the musical chairs that the University of Arizona and their athletic department is still going to be part of a prestigious conference, because that's kind of what we're known for here. What else are we known for here in Tucson? If you ask anybody around the country, what do they know us for?
Not a whole lot else.
No, it's known for the University of Arizona.
Well, no, that's what I mean. Outside of the University of Arizona, there's not much else that people know us about.
That's why. That if this doesn't go the right way in the University of Arizona athletic department, that's why I'm so glad we got Dr. Robbins, so glad we got Dave Hickey, because those two understand the importance of all of this. Where quite honestly, there's some presidents in the Pac-12 that don't get it. And they're going to be left by the side of the road going, what in the world just happened to us? All right. That was incredibly frustrating. Dragon Ball.
It wasn't nearly as bad as what it could have
been. Oh, it was bad. You know what's good, though?
What would that be?
Going to PGA Tour Superstore. I might have to go hit some golf balls today. It's either that or I'm going to start drinking.
Just go and hit the golf balls.
I'm going to go hit golf balls. PGA Tour Superstore. They're located in Oracle and Limberlost. Shop with the pros at Tucson's PGA Tour Superstore. Home for golf pros and beginners like me. Or I just want to go hit golf balls. It's hot. Anybody want to try out and demo some new equipment? You know what? PGA Tour Superstore is so big we could do both. Right there at the corner of Oracle and Limberlost. You want to try out a new driver from Callaway, TaylorMade Cobra? Boom, you could do it right there. They have custom glove fitters. Or if you just want to take some hacks, they got two bays right there. You can hit golf balls all day long. If you're looking for the latest and greatest equipment, they have it all right there. They have the biggest selection of golf balls at an everyday low price, whether you're looking for Titleist Pro V1s, TaylorMade Callaway, Bridgestone, Wilson, or anything else. They have it all right there. They have shoes from Nike, Adidas, Echo, Puma, New Balance, Skechers, FootJoy. They got all the clothing you want from Nike, Travis Mathew, Under Armour, Puma. They even have Barstool Sports Gear. You're looking for golf bags, they have all the best brands right there at PGA Tour Superstore. And here's the deal. Simply because I care about all of you, except for Dragon Ball, you could get a discount by just going into PGA Tour Superstore and saying, hey, Rich sent me in. Just mention the Rich Herrera Show, Wildcats Radio 1290. Get $20 off a purchase of $100, $50 off a purchase of $250 or more. Restrictions do apply. Ping, Titleist, FootJoy, not included in this promotion. Everything else, giddy up. So if you're looking for the best golf equipment at great everyday low prices and service from members of the PGA, there's nowhere else to go but PGA Tour Superstore. All right, coming up in just a second, I do want to go back to some of my outrage that I had last week. The commissioner of the Big Ten is a snake in the grass. I want to play you something. I thought about this all weekend. You know, we had this alliance between the Big Ten, Pac-12, and ACC. What happened? What did it sound like when we got this snow job thrown our way. We'll do that next year at 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, handed to Mathurin between the rings. Over for Krisa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Krisa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff. It is good. Backfield and drop. No gain. Loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments for the University of Arizona Wildcats?
Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's hot! Touchdown, Arizona! Oh, did they need that? My goodness, Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the board. ASU with the ball, down by 11, 3 to go, steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like one driving down that was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Mathurin with the ball for the Wildcats. Mathurin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko. Feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline. Circles back out top to Mathurin. 10 to shoot. 16 left in the ballgame. Mathurin, 3 balls straight away. Good!
That's a huge shot for Ben Mathurin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Mathurin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon 5-man front, they shift, play fake, rolling right, McLeod looking to throw, going deep, down, trying to find Berrios, makes the catch inside the 25-yard line, still loose inside the 15, first down Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was
currently involved in deep discussions about bringing in as many as 6 schools from the Pac-12, and that includes the University of Arizona. Over the weekend, saw former University of Arizona star linebacker Scooby Wright put the final touches on Birmingham Stallions' USFL championship as he took home the pick 6 that sealed the game in the final minutes. Tiger Woods said that there was no way he would have been able to compete in this U.S. Open recently as he continues to save himself physically for the upcoming Open Championship at St. Andrews. And after having screws implanted into his fractured left thumb, Phillies star and former MVP Bryce Harper says that he will be back later this season. He was originally listed as out indefinitely. That's what's trending locally and nationally on 1290. Still more to come on the Rich Herrera Show. This is Wildcats Radio, 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
So, Dragon Ball, you are now part of the media.
I feel like I've always been part of the media because of the stuff.
No, now you're part of the media that people don't trust.
Oh, really? Well,
I'm your huckleberry.
You're part of the media that people don't trust. Want to know why?
Because I'm talking about the Big 12 looking to bring in schools.
Because you're spreading rumors that were planted by the Big 12
and talked about through CBS Sports.
Right. By a columnist at CBS Sports. And I'm just picking on you. I don't mean to.
But by the way, when you said with my new haircut, I looked like I was ready for a TV anchor role, and then you said, not so much, I can only say this to that.
You raised my hopes and dashed them quite expertly, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I do my best. No, I'm just teasing you because I told you, here's what you got to be. Here's the truth. I'm going to get people from both sides spinning like nobody else's business. So right now, CBS, it's Dennis Dodd that threw that out there. That the Big 12 is looking for 6 new members, and they're going to raid the 4 corner schools, and they want Washington and Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what they want. I would like to go on a date with Kate Upton. Don't think that's going to happen. You would like to have your own anime cartoon.
That would be pretty cool.
Featured on Cartoon Network.
Or at the very least be a voice.
There you
on
go.
One of those, yeah.
That ain't gonna happen. We can want all we can say all we want. I could plot and plan to date Kate Upton, but my wife would probably get mad.
Oh, Liz would be mad at you.
And then Justin Verlander would probably be mad at me.
You know what though? You might get away with it with Liz if you can promise her a date with JT Snow.
That's true.
You could probably get away with that.
That's true. But yeah, the Big 12 would love to have that, but there were erroneous reports this weekend that they were meeting. And everybody involved has said no. So just remember, if you see something get really spun up big, because I'm laughing because that went out from Dennis Dodd, and now I've seen it repeated by 18 other people. I know how to read spin. So I've been doing this as long as I have. I know there's been, and folks, I'll tell you, this is the way it works. I'll get people that'll call me and say, hey, do you know this, Rich? Can I give you some facts? Hey, can I give you some inside skinny? And I go, oh, you think so much of me? You want me to? You're gonna be my source? I learned a long time ago. If people are calling to give me exclusive information, they're doing it for a reason. They're doing it because they want me to say it so I could spread their narrative for them to advance the way the story is going to play out. I've had players do it. I've had agents do it. I've had teams do it. Give me a piece of information, hoping, in some cases, asking for me to pass that information along unfettered and unfiltered. And all of a sudden it gets out in the ecosystem, and especially in the day and age of social media, dude, I put that out there in one tweet. I can spin it up, get everybody worked out over it, and it could be complete and utter garbage.
You would be trending in 3 minutes, potentially, depending on how you write it.
100%.
Easily.
100%. I did want to bring something up. Somebody brought this up the other day. What, you remember the Big Ten, Pac-12, ACC alliance? 3 commissioners got together. They had this big Zoom call. We were on it, weren't we?
Yeah.
We watched it.
Yeah.
Do you remember what they said? Well, in case you don't.
Yeah.
We actually have it for you. I want to play this for you. So, part of my anger comes from double dealing and people being duplicitous and less than honest. University of Southern California, the traders, 100% duplicitous. University of California, Los Angeles, backstabbers, 100% duplicitous. And then there's the commissioner of the Big Ten. Here's what he had to say when they talked about the alliance.
It's now my pleasure to introduce Big Ten Commissioner Kevin Warren.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you. Jim, thank you for your words. It's really been a pleasure to work with both you and George and to be able to discuss issues that are pertinent to college athletics, and feel so strongly now that to have people in this industry, leaders at the ACC and the Pac-12 that we've been able to communicate with to deal with a lot of issues in college athletics. When the Big Ten had their first meeting at the Palmer House, only a few blocks away from where I sit here today in downtown Chicago, they came together with the vision to really build a conference, to be able to provide unique opportunities to their student athletes from an academic standpoint to an athletic standpoint. And to be able to work with George and Jim in this alliance with our respective conferences is really special. And I just want to thank all the media members who over the years who have covered the ACC and the Pac-12 and the Big Ten, the stories that you've told, the hard work, the commitment to excellence that you all have shown. We really do appreciate it. And I also would like to thank all of our chancellors, our presidents, our athletic directors, our faculty athletic representatives, our senior women administrators, our head coaches, our assistant coaches, our student athletes, and also our fans. Today is a special day. I think what it does is signifies that there still is a lot of goodness in college athletics.
Okay, just stop that right there. I can't take much more of this. There's a lot of goodness in college athletics because I, as a commissioner of the Big Ten, am going to work hand in hand with the Pac-12 and the ACC, and I'm going to steal USC, UCLA out from underneath you and build my own super conference. So a lot of people asked, and I asked at the time, where's the documentation? This is an agreement. Yeah, this is great. But where's the written agreement? How come there's no written agreement? Here's what the commissioner of the Pac-12 said that day that they announced the alliance. And he said, well, these are my bros. I could trust them. I could trust them. We all in agreement. We're all going to stand here and fight against the evil Southeastern Conference. Here's what George Kliavkoff said when asked about, do you have anything in writing that says all three are going to work together to try to stand up to the SEC?
We'll go ahead and start with Commissioner Kliavkoff for this.
There's no signed contract. There's an agreement among 3 gentlemen, and there is a commitment from 41 presidents and chancellors and 41 athletic directors to do what we say we're going to do. If there's any lack of specificity in the press release, it's because we want to make sure we could deliver 100% of what we promised. So we're aligned in how we want to approach this, but there's no contract. There's no signed document, and there doesn't need to be.
Can I get a redo on that? There's 40. He thought there were 41 athletic directors and school presidents. They're all going to stand together as one. Turned out there were 39.
I think probably my favorite part about not even what Mr. Kliavkoff said there, it was the comment that came afterwards.
Do you have that?
Yes.
Is this from Kevin Warren?
No, I believe it's from the
ACC
commissioner. Okay. So this was the next one.
Commissioner Phillips or Commissioner Warren, either of you want to react?
I think George said it well.
Great.
Yeah.
That was it.
That was it. Yeah.
Oh, he said it well.
He said it well. That was the ACC commissioner. And then the Big Ten commissioner goes, yeah. Meanwhile, that was a year ago. Do you know when these discussions started?
Probably
a year ago.
Probably immediately following Immediately followed after this press conference or superseded it.
A year ago. So the Big Ten has known about USC, UCLA secretly plotting behind everybody's back for a year. And he could stand there and go, I'm so proud of there's good in college athletics. And I want to be your partner. Meanwhile, I'm going to steal your biggest prizes and bring them over to my house. It's like having your neighbor come over to your house. Oh, hey, thanks. Let me show you around. This is, my all my fancy stuff in my house. This is my TV. Here's my pride and possession. It's my autograph jersey right here. Oh, I love this thing. Oh, let me show it to you. Hey, hold on a second. I'll be right back. Then he grabs it and runs it over to his house. It's mine now. It's basically what happened. So maybe was the Pac-12 naive? 100%.
And the beautiful thing about the analogy you just gave is that at the very least, when your neighbor does that and steals something from your house, you can potentially call the authorities and try to go and get it back. The Pac-12 can't do that here. You can't call the authorities and say the Big Ten just stole 2 of our schools and have somebody return them.
That's why from henceforth USC will be known as the traitors and UCLA will be known as the backstabbers, because I said this last week before the 4th of July. The Pac-12 was sabotaged from within. The reason why the Pac-12 conference is on high alert right now is because they were sabotaged from within. It's like being on a ship. Everybody's on deck. Everybody's standing there going, yes, we're all in it together. We're all in it together. Arizona, Arizona State, Cal, Stanford, USC, UCLA, Oregon State, Washington State, Utah, Colorado. You guys are new. Come on board. We're all on this together. And they're all standing there going, for the Pac-12. And they're all sitting there listening to Bill Walton talk about the Conference of Champions and how wonderful it is and blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, people don't notice that USC and UCLA climbed below deck and just put a big hole in the side of the ship and then jumped over into the lifeboat that was given to them by the Big Ten. And now the rest of the Pac-12 standing there and their boats taking on water, sinking, not because somebody came in and hit it. It's because it was sabotaged from within. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. I heard that and I thought about it. Boy, Mr. Warren, whatever you have to say, I guess. Whatever you have to say, I guess, Mr. Warren, but you did your partners wrong. You did your partners wrong. All right, number for you to appear on this program, 520-848-1290. We're going to talk about this all week. I got so much out there, and there's so much more that we need to get into because it is Armageddon for the University of Arizona. I'm not overestimating this. This is not hyperbole. This is not sports talk guys just running their mouths, trying to get a rise out of you. Folks, I sincerely believe this. You can ask Dragon Ball. Last week, I was really shaken.
It was not an easy show to come back to after all of our technical upgrades and things like that. Because, again, we were off for Monday through Wednesday, and then we came back Thursday, the day the news broke that both USC and UCLA were going to leave the conference. That was a heck of a day to get used to the new board, make sure all the systems work, because there was a lot that needed to get covered and brought up on that day.
That's us trying to do the show, but I'm personally still on shaky ground because it's something I've known my entire adult life. There's a couple things that I can count on. My family, my friends. Sky's going to rise up. Sun's going to rise in the morning. In the east, it sets in the west. And the Pac-12 has 12 members that include USC, UCLA. Boom, gone. And I guess I should feel more for the Big 12 last year when that happened. Because now I guess I know what it feels like to be Oklahoma State.
Mm-hmm.
I now know what it means to be like Kansas and Kansas State and Iowa State and all those schools that were reeling a year ago that, well, sorry, now we know it's a blood sport. Now we know it's a war, so let's get after it.
And Texas Tech, no less, losing their other team that's basically been their in-state rival for the longest time.
All right, number for you to join us, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. All right, so there's a bunch of stories. I'm going to explain coming up here in just a minute because, like I said, I've been looking and looking and working, and I got all this list. There's 3 people that are driving the bus right now. Again, you're going to hear all kinds of rumors about the Big 12 wanting to do this, or they're going to merge. What's the ACC going to do? Is the Big 10 done? There's 3 people right now that control the narrative of where we're going. They've got all the cards. I'll tell you who they are next here on 1290.
Rich Herrera. Exclusively on Wildcats Radio 1290. This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, hand it to Mathurin between the rings. Over for Krisa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Krisa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for 2. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the 3, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
4th down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step to handoff. It is good. Backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the 3, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments from the University of Arizona Wildcats?
4th down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on 4th down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Arizona. Oh, did they need that? My goodness. Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the board. ASU with the ball, down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his 3rd foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like what, driving down that was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Mathurin with the ball for the Wildcats. Mathurin around a Coloco screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Coloco, feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline, circles back out top to Mathurin. 10 to shoot, 16 left in the ballgame. Mathurin, 3 balls straight away, good!
That's a huge shot for Ben Mathurin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Mathurin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berryhill. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Brown will take the snap a yard deep in the end zone. Straight back to throw. Has some time. Steps up in the pocket. The Wildcats have got him for a safety. Second safety Arizona has recorded this season. It's a 24-12 ball game, and the Cats will get the ball.
That's big.
Really on the field is a safety.
Yes. That's big time by Arizona. That time defense did a great job of just closing the pocket from the inside, and then the pressure on the outside by Abear. They just got him. They just got there. They won their blocks that time. Excellent job by Arizona defense and really changing the momentum of this game.
Rich Herrera on Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, it's Rich Herrera Radio Show. Those of you just getting your car right now, 5 o'clock. Do people still do that, Dragon Ball?
5 o'clock transfer back home?
Yeah. Because people, post-pandemic, people's driving habits changed.
Well, that, and also you got a lot of folks that are basically like, some of them stayed working from home.
Right.
So there's not a whole lot of driving back and forth if they can help it. But I'd imagine there's still a lot of jobs that still get out at 5.
I hope so. I don't know. You got to work late.
We don't, but I'm sure everybody else gets out at 5.
All right, those of you just getting in your car right now, thanks for joining us. I'm Rich Herrera. That, of course, is my producer, Dragon Ball. Thank you very much. A good job today, Dragon Ball.
Thank you very much.
I think this is one of the traits of a really good producer. Keep the talent happy.
Have you done that today?
I do my best, although I will admit wholeheartedly that I nearly found a way to blow that when you were asking me what these certain cities are remembered for.
That's true.
I came very close.
Nah, you did okay. All right, so there's all kinds of rumors and stories and everything. This is gonna be a big part of what's going on in college sports, and especially here in Tucson, Pac-12 in the future of the university. For quite a while. This story's not going away anytime soon, and Dragon Ball alluded to it. Story Dennis Dodd put out for CBS Sports, that the Big 12, and it depends on who writes the headline, because the guy who writes the story, and then somebody else writes the headlines to get you to click on it. Arizona State heading towards the Big 12. As if it's written in stone. It's not. Now the Big 12 would love to have more members, and I think they know they need more members in order to stay relevant with the power of the Southeastern Conference that rated them for Texas and Oklahoma, and now the power of the Big 10 that's rated the Pac-12 for USC, UCLA. The Big 12 and the Pac-12 are trying to figure out, how do we stay relevant? Remember, they used to both be 8s. Did you know that?
Yes.
The Big 8.
The Pac
The
8.
Pac 8. Pac-10 sounded good.
Not only that, there was no big in it. So you could make a difference between the Big 10 and the Pac-10.
So the Big 8 and the Big 10 sounded kind of similar. The Big 12 and the Big 10 sounded kind of similar.
And now, as it sits, they're both going to eventually be the Big 12.
Well, they're going to have to figure out what the name is.
They're going to have to change the conference name.
Well, I think the whole Big South, Atlantic, I think all those go by the wayside. Because it's not the Southeastern Conference anymore if they go out and gobble up Oregon and Washington.
Even them including Texas and Oklahoma, you can say that's a stretch. Maybe.
The South part, yes. The East part, no.
Yeah, exactly. It's the Southern Conference now,
right.
Basically.
So, again, we're kind of sitting here waiting. And I figured this out today. You realize there's 3 people driving the bus right now. There's three entities that are driving the bus right now on what's going to happen, what's the next shoe to fall. The first shoe to fall was Chris Del Conte, who used to work here at the University of Arizona, became the athletic director at Texas, and he was the one who started all of this when Texas left, along with Oklahoma, to join the Southeastern Conference. And again, folks, I told you. That's why you got to listen to this radio program. Dragon, well, you remember, right?
You had mentioned that when Texas made the move,
and it was
going to change something in college athletics.
And I was banging on it and pounding on it, and quite honestly, some of you idiots out there were just telling me how stupid I was. Oh, who cares? We don't care about the Southeastern Conference. We don't care what happens in Texas and Oklahoma. And I kept telling you, you better, because it's going to have ramifications out here. Shut up, Prairie. Stop talking about it. Hello. That's why you listen to this radio program, because I'm going to tell you what's going on.
You had said the same thing about the pipeline to California and getting the Samoan recruiting base back in the University of Arizona. And lo and behold, they bring in Nansen to be defensive coordinator, and all of a sudden you start seeing a lot more
the Polys
starting coming back to the University of Arizona. So you're 2 for 2, although I'm sure this was the one in regards to the movement and everything in college sports you were hoping to be wrong about.
28 years. I haven't been wrong very often. That's why I'm still on the radio after 28 years.
There you go.
It's one of the reasons why I still do national radio, because they know I'm going to get it right most of the time. Very rarely do I just swing and miss. What have I swung and missed on with you since you and I have been working together? I don't think I've swung and missed on much.
I don't really pay attention to a lot of the things that you miss on because it doesn't happen that often.
There you go. So here's what I'm going to tell you. There's 3 people driving the bus right now. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, the University of Notre Dame.
Oh,
that's
the
big prize that's sitting out there right now. Notre Dame. But how big of a prize is Notre Dame? Are they the prettiest girl out there, but you haven't seen her smile yet and don't know what her teeth look like?
Is Notre Dame the Mona Lisa?
Could be. It really could be. Here's why. Notre Dame has a national following.
Yes.
Everybody knows who Notre Dame is. Their football team. When's the last time they won?
It has been a while. It has been a long while.
Okay. Are they a Faye Monet?
You're going to have to give me the definition of that, sir.
Fake. Okay, here's the other thing. How much bigger can how much more money can ESPN and Fox throw at the SEC and the Big Ten if Notre Dame joined up? I don't see Notre Dame to the Southeastern Conference, but I could see them in the Big Ten. They fit to the Big Ten. And if that's the case, you're talking about $1 billion media rights deal for the Big Ten. How much more money would you give to the Big Ten for adding Notre Dame?
You would give them a lot because then you keep the USC Notre Dame rivalry alive.
Well, you get that. You already have that.
Yeah.
No. You already have that when they play it in the Coliseum.
Right. But
that's part of your package.
Right.
So it's kind of like Lee Steinberg told me this. The agent.
Mm-hmm.
So I was working down in Miami, and we were talking about free agency. So is you know how free agency popped last week? I was laughing because a couple of years ago when I was working down in Miami, we did a 24-hour, we did an overnight show. in Miami because, it popped at midnight, which is 9 on the West Coast. There's still plenty of free agency going on. So we did 12 hours. I did overnights. I did from like 9 to 9 a.m. on the air, me and another guy, on all the breaking news because we thought the Heat were going to blow up. So we did this 24-hour day, 24 hours of NBA free agency.
Not a lot of action.
It was tough. But I had Steinberg on that night, and Lee reminded me, $1 million doesn't mean that much to a billionaire. So, Dragoball, if you were worth $20 million, now let's make it bigger. You're worth $100 million.
Mm-hmm.
How much more are you willing to fight for to get another 3? If you're worth $100 million and I gave you an extra 3 on your contract, does that change your life at all? The answer is no.
Not in the slightest when you really
right.
put that in the scope.
You already have a Lamborghini.
Yep.
In a Bentley.
I have the 2-car garage with a third car on the way.
Right. You already have the huge vacation home and the huge crib and everything else. You already have the Learjet. $3 million isn't going to make that much of a difference to you.
That may fill the jet in regards to gas, but that's it.
It doesn't change your lifestyle, right? If I gave you $3 million, it completely changes your lifestyle.
As it sits right now,
correct,
where I'm worth today, absolutely that changes.
So if you're the Big Ten, if I add Notre Dame and you get another $10 million in this contract, does it change anything?
In regards to already being worth $1 billion, absolutely not.
And here's the thing, is everybody's going, oh, the Big Ten, the Big Ten, the Big Ten. They're going to gobble up more schools. Really? Why would I want to? If I'm Iowa, do I really want more schools joining up with this? Because you know what happens? I got to cut that pie smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Right now there are, 12? How many schools in the Big 12 now?
Right now, as it sits, with the inclusion of USC and UCLA in 2024, it'll be 14 teams.
Do I want to cut that pie 15 into 15 pieces, or rather have it at 14 pieces? If you're going to give me another $500 million, sure, I'll invite Notre Dame in. But is Notre Dame worth cutting that pie up just a little bit more? Notre Dame's out there as the one school that could change the dynamics overnight of everything. So they're sitting out there. Here's a story that just came out. Let me connect the dots for you.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Allen. You know who Paul Allen is?
I believe he doesn't he write for the no different
no.
Okay, different guy I think there's another Paul Allen that I've
Microsoft.
Oh,
Paul Allen, the late Paul Allen, who owned the Seahawks and the Portland Trailblazers.
Okay,
right?
So there's the Seattle connection. I was thinking that there was something in Seattle.
Right. So he was the late owner of the Seattle Seahawks and the Portland Trailblazers. Phil Knight's 84 years old right now.
Yep.
He's about his legacy. He just gave a ton of money to Oregon, and he gave a ton of money to Stanford. He went to Oregon, wife went to Stanford. He's from Portland. Why am I bringing up Paul Allen and the Trailblazers? Well, according to reports, Phil Knight's about his legacy right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's donating money to cancer research and a lot of things. He's about his legacy right now. He's in the twilight of his life. Like I have a buddy of mine, and his dad's mantra was: first third of your life you learn, second third you earn, last third you give back. So Phil Knight's in the give back mode.
Mm-hmm.
The Paul Allen Trust, the trust that the family runs, just put out an unequivocal release that the Seahawks and the Blazers are not, I repeat, not for sale.
Mm-hmm.
So why do you care? Because Phil Knight made a offer to buy the Portland Trailblazers about a week and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
And has now been publicly rebuffed. Not for sale. Sorry. I know you want to have a legacy, but you're not going to have our dad's legacy, according to the Allen kids. We're not selling the teams. We're keeping them in the family trust. So what does that do for Phil Knight in his quest to ensure that he has a legacy that lives beyond his time on this earth? A lot of people have said, if there's one man that has the juice to keep the Pac-12 together, it's Phil Knight. And he loves Oregon, loves Stanford, therefore he must love the conference. If Phil Knight got behind and said, I will lend my support to keeping this conference together, then the Pac-12 survives.
Mm-hmm.
He's the second person that holds the key to all of this. And the third person to hold the key to all of this, and this is where that Dennis Dodd report on the surface, 100% correct. Big 12 would love to be able to get a hold of the Arizona State, Colorado, Utah, Washington, and Oregon, and bring them into the fold, and they would be able to stand on par with the ACC, above the ACC, and not quite with the SEC and the Big Ten, but they'll be able to survive if they're able to control those assets. The third person, as of today, who's driving this bus is the president of the University of Washington. And here's why. Washington and Phoenix are the two biggest media markets left in our conference.
Mm-hmm.
Washington's pretty sexy because it's Seattle and there's a lot of high-tech money up there. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good market to have. The Pac-12 has a board of directors. So they have the school presidents that meet and have meetings, the athletic directors that meet and have meetings. They have a board of directors that's made up of a smaller committee than the 12 athletic directors. And they're the ones who kind of run the business affairs of the Pac-12. Well, the president the person who's in charge of the board of directors of the Pac-12 is the president of the University of Washington. She holds the key. If she took that job, and I'm not sure whether it was foisted upon her, and if they did foist it upon her, way to go, George, commissioner of the Pac-12, put her right in her wheelhouse and make her keep this conference together by taking on that. Or maybe she volunteered and said, I want to see this taken on. Right now, she's in a very interesting position because as the chairman of the board, I don't know if it's chairman or she's the head of the board of directors for the Pac-12.
Right.
Her job is to ensure the survival of the Pac-12 by taking that position. That's why today the Pac-12 sent out a press release. I got it around 12:30 that said we are immediately opening up negotiations for our new media rights. The reason why the Big Ten was able to strike first and get USC, UCLA, their media rights come up this year, 2 years before the Pac-12. So they're able to they're next in line to negotiate. Again, we're going to talk this week a lot about Larry Scott and how he's completely messed this thing up, the former commissioner of the Pac-12. But as she sits there, her job is to hold this conference together as the person in charge of the board of directors, or does she try to bail at the same time and take Washington and maybe Oregon to the Big Ten? It's a huge conflict of interest if she's in charge of the board of directors of the Pac-12 and then her school bails to go somewhere else. Those are the three people that are right now standing between Armageddon and the survival of this conference. Those are the three most important people right now in your life if you're a Pac-12 fan. How about that? Have you heard that broken down yet?
No, not like that. But I will say that absolutely Notre Dame is the first name that comes to mind in regards to where does college athletics go here. Because I honestly believe, to me personally, the minute that Notre Dame stops being an independent is the day that college athletics is done. And in the traditional sense that we know.
Yeah.
It is all going to be about the money.
100%. All right, coming up in the program, I'm going to give you the big stories of the day. And then in case you missed it, we got reaction to all of this from Francisco Romero, radio voice in Espanol of the Arizona Wildcats. That's all coming up here on 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, handed to Matherin between the rings. Over for Krisa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Crease around it. Drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down, and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step to handoff. It is good. Backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments from the University of Arizona Wildcats?
Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Arizona. Oh, did they need that? My goodness. Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the board. ASU with the ball, down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like what, driving down that was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Matherin with the ball for the Wildcats. Matherin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko, feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline, circles back out top to Matherin. 10 to shoot, 16 left in the ballgame. Matherin, 3 balls straight away, good!
That's
We're tied.
A huge shot for Ben Matherin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Matherin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berrios. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Brown will take the snap a yard deep in the
Stories around Tucson, Arizona, and the world. Here is your anchor man, Rich Herrera.
I don't go make burgers where you work and then tell you how to make burgers.
All right, Dragon Ball says I got to hustle. By the way, this portion of the program brought to you by PGA Tour Superstore. Here's the deal. If you're a golfer, there's only one place in town to go for the best selection of golf equipment. From drivers to wedges to irons to putters, it's PGA Tour Superstore. They have all the top brands there, and they have custom club fitters. So if your golf game this summer is leaving a little bit to be desired and your buddies look at you like, dude, why don't you get some golf clubs that were actually made, I don't know, this century or this decade? If you're embarrassed to go out to play golf because your clubs, well, they were probably really great technology during the Clinton administration. Not so much anymore. Go to PGA Tour Superstore. Hey, here's the deal. You could go in there, meet with their club fitters, and they're going to take a look at your swing, at your hack, and they're going to figure out what exactly you need to maximize your game with the newest technology in the golf industry. That's why they have custom club fitters right there. They'll figure out what kind of shaft, what kind of grip you want, what kind of club head you want. They'll put together and custom fit your clubs, because that's what they do with PGA Tour Superstore. Great service, great selection, and you know what? They actually have PGA instruction inside the store, and you don't have to be intimidated going in. Whether you're a really great golfer or someone like me, their customer service is fantastic. I've been in there with guys like, yeah, I'm going to put a little loft on here, and I play this fade. I'm like, dude, I just want the ball to go straight down the middle so I don't lose it in the desert. They will help both of us get better at our golf game and enjoy the game even more. And here's the great deal. Say you're in the market for new equipment. Here's what you do. You mention this radio show, they'll take $20 off a purchase of $100. They'll take $50 off a purchase of $250 by just mentioning Wildcat Radio 1290. That's their special for our listeners. They're located at Oracle and Limberlost. Shop with the pros at Tucson's PGA Tour Superstore, home for golf pros and beginners. All right. You tell me I got 2 minutes to do this? To tell you what the latest headlines are, Dragon Ball? Oh, okay. Oh, why am I rushing then?
I have no idea why you're rushing. Oh. I got no clue. But
I got plenty of time.
You got a total amount of time.
So we got plenty of time just to talk?
Yeah, we do.
All right. How was your weekend?
You know what? To be fair, it was a little bit taxing for 4th of July celebrations. I actually got to see Mr. Buzz Jackson down at the Marana Spectacular. That was a lot of fun.
Wow.
I was not prepared for the heat and the humidity. I ended up getting a little bit dehydrated on Sunday and got dehydrated on Monday.
Did you pass out?
No, but it got close. I'll say it probably got close. And that's including with a couple of the body armors, which are like the not Gatorades. And then also I had a Gatorade afterwards. It was a bit of a trying time, but stuck it through, and I lasted.
You live here in Tucson. How could you grew up here in Tucson. How do you get dehydrated?
I don't pregame well. That's the problem. It's like for anyone that doesn't live in Tucson or is not used to the Tucson weather, I will tell you this, is that no matter what you do, it can be you're only going out for 4 hours for a little picnic cookout or something like that. You cannot underestimate it. Please pregame. Please drink your water.
No, that's not what pregame means.
No. For Arizona desert weather,
no, pregame means I go out and get hammered before I go to the club.
And for me, since I don't drink, that's not a terminology that I use for it. It's you drink a lot. You make sure you get a lot of water in your system. Do what you can to prepare your body for the heat. I didn't do it that well, and
That's what you call pre-gaming?
For me, I mean, again, you're talking to a guy who doesn't drink anything but like soda at like the most.
Oh no, so pre-game for me is I'm gonna get an Uber, so I'm not driving. There you go. I'm gonna be responsible.
There you go.
I'm gonna throw down like a half a bottle of whiskey, and I'm gonna go to the bar. Woohoo! Let's go.
So I'd be nervous then if I gave you that sweet deal from Barrio Brewing Company this Friday. Because would you be pre-gaming before you got to Barrio Brewing Company?
No, that's if I'm going out to a club. That's how I'm going out to a club. Like I go to a bar, I'm gonna, actually I pre-game a lot.
I was gonna say, you mentioned like you and your stories of you and Riggs in Vegas is what makes me nervous about that.
That's true. Did you see Top Gun yet?
Yes, I saw Top Gun.
Okay,
already.
I just want to make sure you saw it for the 4th of July weekend.
I saw it before the 4th of July. Yeah.
I'm very, very proud of you.
Thank you.
Because you know what this weekend is, don't you?
What
comes out this week?
What's coming out this week?
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh,
dude, I'm so going. I'm so going Thursday. Thursday after the show, I'm going.
Oh boy, that means I'm gonna have to get caught up on all the Guardians of the Galaxy movies now, isn't it?
Thor: Love and Thunder opens this week. All right. Anyway,
There
big
goes
stories.
my week.
big stories. I know. So tomorrow I got to go after the show. I got to run up to Scottsdale. Booney's in town. He's doing his podcast. He's going to do it live in front of a studio audience.
Where at?
I got to find out. It's in Scottsdale. He's sitting down with Luis Gonzalez.
Oh,
he and Gonzo are going to sit down and do an hour in front of a studio audience.
Oh man.
So I'm going to go up there and have dinner with them afterwards. Thursday, Love and Thunder. Then Friday, I'm hosting on the network.
There you go.
So it's a big week for me.
It's a big week for you.
Big week for me. All right, here's the big stories of the day. The Pac-12 is not going to lay down and roll over and die. Don't care what the reports are. Two big things. The Pac-12 last week while we were away said absolutely 100% the board of directors has given George Kliavkoff all the room he wants to start immediately looking for expansion, meaning San Diego State, Boise State, Fresno State, anybody else, come on, let's go. You know the one school we haven't talked about? Nobody's mentioned for Pac-12 expansion? Where's George Kliavkoff live? Where did he come from? The MGM Grand. Where does he live? Las Vegas.
If he can get one or two of the Las Vegas schools, that'd be interesting.
Well, there's only one.
There's University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and then there's also Nevada.
UNLV, and then University of Nevada. No. Could you imagine if he grabbed UNLV and brought him to the Pac? And you'd get all, because listen, the Pac-12 thinks of Vegas as part of their territory. This just popped into my head. Nobody's mentioned this. If he's going to go out and look for schools to bolster this conference, everybody said San Diego State, right? So you get, it's not the Southern California TV market, I'll tell you that.
No.
I've worked in LA, I've worked in San Diego. There's a fine line between the two. It's a big and it's thick, and the two are never confused for one another. Everybody talked about Boise State because it's a good football program.
Mm-hmm.
Fresno State, they say the Valley's worth a lot. I don't think it is. I started my career in that market. But how about Las Vegas?
It is McHale North for a reason.
You bring Vegas into the Pac-12 fold. Does that make sense? So the big news today is the board of directors, led by the president of the University of Washington, hint, hint, has said, we are not going to wait till next year to start negotiating our media rights. We will now go forth and start negotiating our media rights right now, which means they need to get their ducks in a row of who's going to make up the Pac-12 so they can negotiate those rights. San Diego State, Boise State, Fresno State. And I'm going to tell you, if you're George Kliavkoff, go hit a home run. Go get Vegas. Go get Vegas and bring UNLV into the fold. You know, one of the problems with the Pac-12 has always been the Blue Bloods of the Pac-12 academically, Dragon Ball, never wanted to just have the likes of San Diego State in with them. Well, now I think you see that you're going to have to invite some people in that aren't part of this blue blood of academia that you have on the West Coast. Because if not, then you'd go get UOP, University of Pacific, or UC Davis and add them into the mix. They're not big enough to drive the needle.
No. But even then, you had mentioned it not too long ago that San Diego State is not the party school it used to be.
No, it's a 4.0 plus to get in.
Yeah.
Do you understand the difference between the two? The two systems, San Diego State. What's the big difference between San Diego State and UCLA? Do you know this?
In regards to the academic system?
Yeah.
Or, no, that I don't know.
So in California, there's two different university systems. You know how we have the state, what do we call it here in Arizona? The Arizona university system, right?
Yes.
Arizona's a flagship, ASU, NAU.
Yep.
Those are the three members of that system. In California, there's two public university systems. University of California, Cal, UCLA, UC Santa Barbara, UC Riverside, UC San Diego, UC San Diego, UC Davis, University of California. It's higher prestige. You pay tuition. It's a better academic school. Mm-hmm. Then they decided years later, we need to have a secondary college system that makes it affordable for everyone to go. And that's the California State University system. So there's the UCs and then the California State University CSUs. San Diego State is in the CSU system, not nearly as prestigious as the UC system.
Right.
San Jose State, Fresno State, Cal State Bakersfield, Cal Poly. Those are the lesser prestigious universities in the state. The Pac-12 might have to look at going into the blue collar university system if they're going to survive.
You know what? You might as well.
You never know.
You never know.
All right, those are the big stories of the day. All right, coming up next, my conversation with Francisco Rivero, the radio voice at Espanol. We'll get his thoughts on what we've seen happen over the last 4 days. That's coming up next here at 1290.